there we go. We'll probably edit some of that, huh? Anyways, there goes the neighborhood. Cybertruck to the rescue. So anyways, let's get back to it. But anyways, this is my life. It's like been, and it's not like I want to just fight all the time, but it's just what a lot I grew up in was this kind of stuff. So again, it does anything but drive me mad. I get upset sometimes when I see things that are just very unjust and people get away with it. And yeah, of course that drives me a little bit like, what the heck? But then we just find it as a unique challenge of like, okay, well, let's move accordingly. Some of y'all got to make a decision here, though. Like, someone's got to pick who's going to go and who's not. Anyways. So, yeah, I like it. It's my thing. I make memes. I like to just take what they say, and I make memes with it. It's just a big part of what I do. But, yeah, as far as, like, just, like, being into... You got to remember, too, I mean, my Aries is in its placement in Mars, or Mars being in Aries. So, like, that is, like, let's go, baby. And these things make a difference. So, at the same time, we want to help people. We want people to be, we don't want admitted cult leaders to be, recruiting people to exploit, which is what this is. It's just an ego thing. It's just there's a lot of stuff we can say about it. But if you gotta remember, so a couple of things I want to hit on, and then I'm done here. Is one, if someone wants to be a self-professed cult leader, cult leaders traditionally do not have a good reputation for a reason. And there's a psychology, there's a study of all that for good reason. Now, I've taken AI and I can literally show all of his logical fallacies over and over and over. Any normal person, just rational person, critically thinking person, someone studied, maybe someone that's gone to, I don't know how much college or university Stephen has. I don't know what his credentials are, so maybe he has a lot that I'm not aware of. Maybe he has psychology degrees, I don't know. But you're going to take someone that probably doesn't have a psychology degree. I don't either. But you're going to put that up against people who do, and you're going to say, well, the people who have studied for thousands of years are all wrong, and Stephen's right because he says, no, they're just wrong. That's totally irrational, and it's not, it's a little scrambled. But people do that. That's what cult leaders do. They convince people that, again, they're the Messiah and all that. Well documented. Nothing new under the sun. Stephen's not the first, nor will he be the last. And I'm sorry if some of you don't realize that. It's okay. Read a book. So, I don't want you to be rude because I don't have an issue with the cult followers. It's the antics, and it's the fact, you want to be a cult leader, then you're going to get called out. You're going to get treated like one. And I think anyone who wants to self-describe as a cult leader should get extra scrutiny. Just how I feel like people in politics, in government, teachers and counselors and police officers, I think these people should you should be held to a higher standard. And that's what we're doing. Said, okay, you're this thing, we're going to hold you to a higher standard. You're a higher person, so we expect more out of you. So I have high expectations. And then the other thing is, so we talk about mental health, and it's not a joke, and playing on people's mental health is not a joke. And again, I don't act like I'm perfect. I don't act like I ain't ever just said things out of line where it's like, you know what, maybe this person's really going through something, and I probably was being rude about it. So we're always actually trying to practice that mindfulness, and just some days are better than others. But the reason, I'm just going to explain why I call it the insanity machine, which almost seems like I'm making a mockery of that too. Is that when you have someone who's admitted, from what everything I've heard, has schizophrenia, that is very possibly when you have people hearing voices or things like that. But especially, if you have insomnia and schizophrenia and things like that. And I've experienced, I've known people that have had this stuff. I wasn't born yesterday. I don't live under a rock. But there's there's something going on there. And a lot of other cultures, there's spiritual stuff, or there could be possibly attachments. That's why you hear voices. That's something, outside of yourself. So, but the reason that we use the insanity machine is because it's ludicrous that a person would, again, very cultish behavior, would consider themselves they're the only sane one. He's saying we're only sane here, we're only irrational, yet defying all logic, all ration, it's just none of it. When you put a microscope onto it, it all falls apart very easily. This goes into brainwashing and propaganda. If brainwashing and propaganda didn't work, advertising wouldn't be a multi-billion, trillion-dollar industry, and it is because people can be influenced. Think about that for a minute. Why do they spend so much money on Super Bowl ads? Oh, because they're influencing people. Why is social media this? It's right there. It's right in front of our faces. So clearly, the Mad Raven King has mental health issues, so it shouldn't be joked about. But they're projecting it in a very nasty way, and that's not okay. They're projecting their own insanity upon everyone else and saying, no, it's all you. Typical behavior. Falls under narcissism and things like that. Sociopathic behavior. So I just spit it back. Same with the Team Evil thing, the insanity machine. I'm a wordsmith. I love words. I'm a poet. I am a philosopher. I am these things. I am an artist also. I am a visionary. I am a channel. So I just, we all have our things. I got mine too. But there's just a reason there's a method to my madness, and a reason that I operate the way I do at times. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But right now my focus is on my shit. But in the meantime, like interim little times like this, I'm sitting in traffic. Yeah, I'm gonna spit some stuff out. Like, hey, da 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 da. So anyways, be loved, guys. Be beautiful. Always remember you are loved. And again, this is an attack on the antics, if that's what we want to call it, and the shenanigans. It's calling it out and holding it to the fire in the microscope and said, okay. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'll be your Huckleberry.